Hi there, welcome back to the Rare Book Views channel where I talk about how much I love books and reading and book collecting and libraries and bookstores. And thank you to everyone else who enjoys those things and has given me such nice comments and encouragement. I just love it. I love that there's other people who love reading as much as I do and are nice about it on the internet. Not a lot of things can say that. So today I am going a little bit on an unusual topic, and I thought I would talk about things that you can buy when you are looking for a gift for a bookish person. I have some thoughts on this, and my main one is your first stop should be your local independent bookstore. We love that there's a bookstore in your neighborhood or area. The time to support them is at the holiday shopping season. Let's face it, everybody's trying to make their living right now, so they are an awesome resource always, and definitely this time of year, you can always stop by and ask for their advice. If you're buying someone a present, books can be a little, you can buy someone your favorite book and they might love it too. My favorite book, I think this year was maybe Piranesi by Susanna Clark, maybe, just off the top of my head. I think that might be the one that I would buy for someone if I was going to buy them a book that I loved, if you know someone well enough to know their taste. And I would definitely go to a local independently owned bookstore to get a copy. The other things that you can ask them about if you aren't sure what kind of book to buy someone, any book person is going to love a gift certificate from the local bookstore because then they get to go book shopping, which is also a great present. But my other big recommendation is if you are buying a book for someone and you know what their favorite book, or if they're really into a movie that's based on a book or has a related book, that is a great time to ask your bookstore, your bookseller, if they can recommend a special edition. I think that if you have a friend or relative who, say, loves Gone with the Wind or, I don't know, Fahrenheit 451, if you tell your bookseller you're looking for a special copy, if it's their favorite book, they probably have one, but they might want a nice vintage copy. If you can find one with vintage cover art, sometimes this is Alfred Hitchcock. I love Alfred Hitchcock, he's fun. And this is a book club edition, but it's got vintage art, so I really love it. And this is not spendy. This would be maybe $10, maybe $20 at the outside, somewhere really in a really fancy bookstore. So I think that would be a great choice, a vintage copy of a book you love. And then there's a couple publishers that I think are really great too. This is Heritage Press. Heritage Press comes in a slipcase, and they are often have really nice, this has a nice fabric. This is Frankenstein. It's a great one. And they have really good art. They get really good artists to do these too. So you get that, and you get a nice font, and it feels good in your hand to have a special edition. And then it has this nice slipcase, Heritage Press. And then similar and slightly more, I'm trying to say a little more splashing out finance-wise, is Folio Press. This is, oh my gosh, the War of the Worlds. I was really torn over this, and you all convinced me I should keep this even though I already have a copy. This is the Folio edition, and it is beautiful. The illustrations are beautiful. The printing is beautiful. These are, depending on the title, look at this, fantastic art. Depending on the title and how popular it is, Folio can be, it'll set you back a little bit more. It really depends on the title. This is H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds, very popular, and also a very popular movie. So this one, I got it, I'm super frugal, so I got this at a bargain price, but I did see online, maybe in the $50 to $100 range, you could get this Folio copy of this book. And then the other publishers that I would recommend for a special edition, there is Franklin Library. Franklin Library, this was sort of a subscription service, and this particular publisher is no longer around. It was merged into another one, but the editions still exist. And certainly a used bookstore or online, you could find a copy. This is Dostoevsky, a little late reading. This is Dostoevsky. I paid $15, and this is his short stories. They have different levels at Franklin Press. This is the full leather. Sometimes they had one that just on the shelf, it was leather, and it's called quarter leather. It goes to here. And this one has gilt, and it has embossing, and the end papers are silk, and there's a silk bookmark. So this is kind of one of the fancy editions. I paid $15 for this at a bookstore. It could be more or less depending where you are. But a nice edition if there's a book that you really love. It's nice to have this one. It feels so good in your hand. And then the publisher that I mentioned that sort of took over Franklin Press is Franklin Library, Easton Press. It's a little EP on the spine is how you can notice them. But again, it's the same. It's embossed. There's gilt. Look at the edge of the page. Silk end papers, nice illustrations, a little bit fancy. And this is Wuthering Heights. So if this was your favorite book, if someone gave you this copy, you'd be excited, right? If you get this from your local bookstore, be sure to keep the receipt just in case. What if I already had the exact same edition? What are the odds? But you never know. And then the other thing that I would recommend at your local bookstore is their ephemera. This is my Powell's Bookstore t-shirt. Powell's Books is one of my personal favorites. It is perhaps the largest independently owned bookstore, period. It's a city block, and it's wonderful. And they have really cool stuff. And they have your typical t-shirts and mugs and whatever. I love their Nalgene bottles. They have this recommended daily allowance. This is the math one. There is a literature one, and it's Tolstoy and then down to shorter novels. I can't remember off the top of my head. But I love the literature one so much that it's all worn off, or I would show it to you. So those types of things I think are great gifts, especially if you want to go the gift certificate route and you want to have something more substantial to wrap. Just ask them what their coolest gifts are. In the t-shirt realm, I love an independent bookstore t-shirt, and certainly my uniform on the weekends is any book-related t-shirt. As you might have noticed, my favorite company for this is outofprint.com. I'll put a link in the notes if you want to find it. I think, I'm not 100% sure on this, I am under the impression that currently it is part of Penguin Books. It is a sideline for Penguin Books, which is a great publisher, and I do not mind supporting them. But I think it was started as an independent enterprise that Penguin picked them up. And their shirts are the original cover art of first editions. They have some other sort of creative art ones, but a lot of their shirts are the cover art. And I love them so much. And this time of year, I love this. For Black Friday, they always have a sale, and usually a buy one, get one free, which means if you get two, that's essentially half price. So this is the time of year to buy them. Even if you just love books, you could buy them for yourself. That's fine. But I'll show you the sizing because this really baffles me on some level. They have men's, and they label this men's/unisex. So I guess if you're a woman, you're allowed to buy them. I just think it's super weird that you call that unisex. This is the men's size. And it is a little bit boxy. I order my normal t-shirt size in this, and then women's, not unisex, men can buy them. Go crazy, be a rebel. This is one of them. They're more fitted, you can see on the sides. And they have, this one is the ringer, and then they have some that are V-neck, and they have some that are just crew neck that are fitted. They have some that are sort of shirt tail. In general, I size up from my normal size. I think these are just a little too fitted. So essentially the same size, the women's small and the unisex medium. I will show you the comparison. So I have Walden here and the Princess Bride, and you can see not a lot of the men's showing through. I think these are comparable size, so I size up in the women's, but I love them. I think they run about, I'm going to get this wrong, they run about $25 to $30 a piece, so on sale with shipping, I think that's kind of okay. I'll put a link to their website. They also have other really cool stuff. They have socks. They have, I once for Christmas received and was thrilled to get the banned book socks, where one sock has the titles of the books that are banned in different places, and the other sock, they're just blacked out. I just love them. They have a lot of jewelry and different kinds of apparel and pencil cases. I love the pencil case to organize my purse and keep things from going crazy. So a lot of options on that site. And if you know of great places to buy a present for a book fan, please let me know. I would love to know where you're buying your presents. I, of course, during the year, for many of my relatives, collect books for Christmas. For me, that is a year-long endeavor. And I am very excited to be wrapping them up soon. Several people have commented that when I go shopping and say I can't show you the ones that are for presents, people say, when are you going to show us what those were? So if you are interested in that, let me know. I will do maybe a whole holiday. These are all the things for the relatives. I hope that you are going to buy yourself something fun, and hopefully it is books. Hopefully you're reading. Thank you for watching. Happy reading.